Hi there, so my skin used to look like this and now it looks like this, and oh man, has it been quite the journey. Today I'm going to be sharing my 4 holy grail products that absolutely transformed my skin, from cleansers and actives to moisturizers and SPFs. Let's dive in. Before we start, I just want to say welcome to the BeSoGuud channel, where we're all about elevating ourselves to be our best, both inside and out. It's so good to have you here. Let's get into it. Starting off with cleansers, the most basic yet fundamental part of your routine, and also one of the most important. When choosing a cleanser, really the main thing that you want to focus on is that it is cleaning your skin properly and that it is not sensitizing your skin. As someone who is very acne prone, extremely sensitive skin, when I'm selecting a cleanser, I just want it to do its job, to cleanse my skin well enough, but also to keep your skin barrier and my skin barrier intact, because your skin barrier is one of the most important things to just having healthy skin. Whether you have acne, aging, or really any skin concern at all, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your skin barrier, and the last thing that you want is for your cleanser to be overstripping your skin. So choosing a very gentle, non-fragranced, affordable cleanser. Personally, for me, I have bought so many expensive cleansers in my life, and my 2 holy grail cleansers are ironically the Vanicream cleanser, which is an extremely affordable drugstore cleanser, and then I have the Dr. Sam's Flawless cleanser, which is a little bit more pricey than the Vanicream, but also extremely affordable. These are both beautiful cleansers. They are great for extremely sensitive, rosacea prone, acne prone skin. I can rely on both of these cleansers when I'm having any type of skin issue. Like right now, if you watched any of my past videos or the one that I just made, I am dealing with a little bit of contact dermatitis on one side of my face from a new moisturizer that I tried. And these are 2 cleansers that I have been using while healing this contact dermatitis, and I've had no issues with them. They are great water-based cleansers that the one thing that they do is just clean your skin properly. They're affordable. They're not going to strip your skin barrier. The Vanicream cleanser is also fungal acne safe. So if you're someone that is dealing with fungal acne, which is just an overgrowth of the fungus that lives on your face, this is a very safe option. And then the Dr. Sam's cleanser is also for all skin types. So whether you're combination, oily, dry, this is beautiful. This is a jelly-based cleanser, so the texture is very different than most likely what you're used to. But the Vanicream cleanser is more like a traditional foaming cleanser, but it's just not stripping for your skin. These 2 are beautiful options, and they have been such a staple in my routine when dealing with my texture, my acne, my closed comedones, my rosacea, my dermatitis, basically anything under the sun. These are 2 very safe options. I'll have them linked down below so you can easily find them. But these are just beautiful, chef's kiss, and definitely holy grail cleansers. Now let's get into actives. The 2 actives that for me personally have made the biggest difference in my skin is actually a prescription benzoyl peroxide and clindamycin gel. This guy is the best thing that ever happened to me when I was dealing with a lot of closed comedones, a lot of skin texture. I'll insert a photo. And also, if you've watched any of my other skincare videos, you know that dermaplaning was kind of what offset my whole host of skin and acneic issues and skin inflammation. But benzoyl peroxide and clindamycin that I did get prescribed by a dermatologist is literally my holy grail that solved those problems for me. That being said, clindamycin is like a topical antibiotic, so you do want to be careful when using this. Benzoyl peroxide is also really strong, so definitely, consult a professional and see if this is something that could work for you. But for me personally, it is the one thing that I attribute to finally getting rid of 99% of my issues when I tried just about everything else and nothing else worked. And then the next product is actually azelaic acid. I have 2 different ones here. I have Finacea 15% azelaic acid. This has been wonderful as someone who struggles with rosacea. You can even see it in my videos where I have a little bit of redness, especially here. That's my rosacea seeping through, and azelaic acid is a great anti-inflammatory and antibacterial when it comes to rosacea. A lot of people that have rosacea or just redness or even hyperpigmentation from leftover acne marks, azelaic acid is a wonderful addition to your routine. This Finacea 15% prescription strength, I actually got in Europe when I was in Spain, because you can get this basically over the counter. If you just go to a pharmacy there, they will actually give you the Finacea 15%, whereas in the US, you do have to go to see a derm, you have to go through your insurance, and it can get a little bit steep when it comes to the price, depending on if your insurance covers it or not. So if you are in Europe or anywhere that you can get Finacea because you want to try it, definitely stock up, because this is a holy grail for hyperpigmentation and rosacea and redness and even dermatitis. A lot of people that get perioral dermatitis, the rashy like little bump around your mouth, which you can get from so many different reasons. I can make a separate video with dealing with perioral dermatitis. That's a tongue twister. But azelaic acid is wonderful. The other option that I have that is more over the counter that you can just buy online is also Dr. Sam's Brightly Serum. I am not sponsored by Dr. Sam. She has no idea who I am. I have bought all of these products with my own money. This one is actually 10% azelaic acid, and it does have some additional ingredients like niacinamide, vitamin C derivative, and it has bakuchiol as well. So this one is a little bit more pricey, but it definitely has a whole host of amazing combination of ingredients, and it's a great option if you're someone who is also curious about starting azelaic acid. Like with everything, you're going to want to start slow, but this is a great option as well. Azelaic acid is almost one of those acids that will work for just about any skin type, and it is so wonderful at reducing inflammation and even helping you tolerate all your other prescriptions or your retinoids or any other active that you may use into your routine. Azelaic acid actually helps to strengthen your barrier and just help to tolerate other things. So it's also a holy grail in my book. Now onto moisturizers. I have my La Roche-Posay Tolérane Sensitive Fluid. I don't know if that's how you pronounce the name, but that's how I am saying it today. This is my one and only moisturizer that has my heart. I don't even know how I stumbled across this gem looking for an acne safe, sensitive skin safe, rosacea safe, fungal acne safe, basically everything safe, and somehow stumbled upon this. And I don't hear anyone talking about this moisturizer, which I am so glad, because I don't ever want them to reformulate this or sell this out. But this has been absolutely wonderful. It is extremely lightweight, extremely hydrating, but definitely more for combination or even oily skin types. I am not sure that this would be enough for someone that has really dry skin. It is really lightweight, but I love this because it is so soothing. It doesn't have any fragrance. The ingredient list I think is like 8 or 9 things. It pairs so well with all my other actives, and even same thing when I've had dermatitis flare-ups or anything where my skin is reacting to something, I can always rely on this moisturizer, and it just complements my routine. Same thing, it does the job. It is hydrating, it is soothing, it doesn't interfere with anything else that I am using, and it is just something that I can count on. And I also know that it's not going to clog my pores, which is a huge thing for me personally to find in a moisturizer. If you're someone that gets a lot of those little bumps, textured bumps, clogged pores, closed comedones, whether it's on your forehead, cheeks, anything like that, this has never given me closed comedones. And I've tried so many moisturizers, and I feel like 99% of the moisturizers give me closed comedones even when I'm using all my other actives. So this is one of the very, very few that does everything that I need it to do, and it doesn't give me clogged pores or texture. And it's great for really humid, hot environments, and just I love it, and I never want them to reformulate this. I'll have everything that I'm talking about linked down below so you can find it really easily, but it's super affordable. I will say it's relatively small, and I don't love that, but you can't have it all, you know. It's small, but it works, and I love it. And lastly, we have sunscreens, one of my favorite categories, as it should be yours too, because sunscreen is the one thing that every skin needs. But I understand that it can be so hard to find a sunscreen that feels good on your skin, that you actually want to reach for, that you actually want to wear, that doesn't break you out, that doesn't cause stinging around your eyes, all those things. Trust me, let me tell you, I've tried so many sunscreens. I've reacted terribly to so many sunscreens, and these are my ride or die sunscreens right here. The first one that I absolutely love is the Isdin Fusion Water Magic Pediatrics version. Yes, this is the baby formulation. I first fell in love with this before it became the magic version, and actually when they reformulated to the magic version, I started to have an allergic reaction to it, which took me months to figure out that it was my sunscreen, because I had used it in the past for so long and I absolutely loved it. But this is also your lesson that when products get reformulated, even if it's for the better sometimes, you can 100% react to the new formulation. So just keep an eye out for that. that. I reacted terribly to the normal Fusion Water Magic formulation. But then when I was back in Spain, I really wanted to find an Isdin sunscreen that worked for my skin again, because their formulations and the way that they feel on my skin is just completely unmatched. And I went into the pharmacy, I bought a few different ones, and I told myself I'm gonna take a chance on it on the Magic Pediatrics, because I looked at the ingredient list and I found a few different things that I thought could maybe be the culprit to what I was reacting to in the normal version, and they didn't have that in the Pediatrics formulation. And this one is also fragrance free, which for me personally is so important. I actually did not love that about the original version, that it did have fragrance, because I have such reactive skin. But this one doesn't have fragrance. It is the same lightweight, watery, skin-like essence feel on my skin. It is absolutely stunning. I love how it looks. I love how it feels. I love that it's hydrating, but not too hydrating. It doesn't feel cakey or heavy on the skin, which I hate about so many sunscreens. It doesn't have any white cast, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And just the Pediatrics version, after trying it for a few months, it worked for me. The only downside is that I cannot find this, and I cannot get this into the US, and that is the one thing that drives me crazy about this being my Holy Grail sunscreen. So same thing, if you're someone that is either in South America or you're visiting Europe or anything, get your hands on this formulation and buy as many of these as you can, because you're not going to be able to get it shipped to you into the US, and it is absolutely the best sunscreen for me personally that I have ever tried, and nothing has matched this. That being said, if you're someone who has rosacea or really reactive skin, or you're dealing with some type of very strong dermatitis or anything like that, and you've been told to use a mineral sunscreen, the Isdin one is a chemical sunscreen. A great option that you can find at the drugstore, that you can find anywhere, is the La Roche-Posay Tinted Mineral and Thelios SPF 50. I will be completely honest, this is a little bit too orangey for my personal liking, but it is still a holy grail for me, because I know that I can count on this mineral sunscreen when I have any type of skin reaction and I'm trying to stay away from a chemical sunscreen. And it has never done me dirty. It is relatively affordable, I would say, compared to very high-end sunscreens, which can also get extremely expensive, and they are by no means superior to these drugstore versions. This one is great for really sensitive skin. They also do have an untinted version. That one does have a little bit more of a white cast. When you are dealing with mineral sunscreens, a white cast is just something that unfortunately most of them have, but this is a great safe option. And speaking of mineral sunscreens, I use the Tizo Eye Renewal non-tinted around my eyes. If you're someone that no matter almost whatever sunscreen you use, you feel kind of that like burning sensation around my eyes, doing this has been a game changer for me. This is a mineral sunscreen that is actually made for the area around your eyes. I take one pump of this, and before I put on whatever sunscreen I'm using, whether that's my ride or die Isdin or La Roche-Posay or just anything, I'll take one little pump and I'll put it around the areas of my eye, almost to create a little barrier. And then that way, even if I'm sweating or my sunscreen is moving around, because I live in a really hot and humid environment, I don't run the risk of any sunscreen kind of getting into my eyes or just having a bad reaction around my eyes, which is the most sensitive area of your skin. It's wonderful for just preventing any of that. Ever since I started doing that, I almost have zero issues when it comes to like sensitivity around the eyes. So this little guy here has definitely saved me from that, and I love it for that reason. I know I kept it quite short today, but really those are my holy grail products that I always go back to no matter what and whatever condition that my skin is in. They have never broken me out. They don't give me reactions like a lot of other products when I try them. And I think it's so important for you to find your core routine that you can always go back to, even if you're experimenting with new things, that you know these things work for me. They don't cause me any issues. My skin feels great when I use them. They don't break me out. Whatever skin concern that you have, find your core routine. If you've tried any of these, let me know, or I'd love to know what your core routine products are, because I'm always on the lookout for really good options that ultimately hopefully my skin will love. And I would love to know what works for you, or if you have any questions or you want me to make any other videos going more into detail when it comes to acids or all the sunscreens that I've tried or reviewing them, let me know. I would love to know what you want to see more of. And as always, if you got any value from this video, please don't forget to give that subscribe button a sweet little tap. I am so grateful to have you here, and I hope to catch you in my next one.